Hey guys, how are you? So, yeah, what it do, y'all? It's your girl at Swaggy B, and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be, unfortunately, the last live that I host, at least officially. If you guys are interested in hanging out with me on Christmas Eve and or New Year's Eve, just let me know. But as of right now, this is the last live. I may be able to do a live another day surrounding those days because I know right now Tuesdays are my days to do lives. So we will just kind of play it by ear. But if you are not new here or if you are new, I'm going to be doing my new makeup releases video, which I call Must Have Miss Gags. This is inspired by Samantha March's Will I Buy It series. I always have her series and the community playlist linked down below, as well as all of the Instagram pages I follow to get all of this makeup knowledge. And lastly, but certainly not least, I always have all of the items listed and linked down below. If there's an asterisk behind it, that means that it is an affiliated link. I very much appreciate it if you shop through it. Otherwise, no big deal at all. I'm just so happy that we're here together for however much time and we're talking about makeup. So, as you can see, I no longer have my lip product, so I'm going to go ahead and do that while hopefully a couple of you guys run in here. I know that my lives have been sporadic to say the least, and I've canceled lives very late, but family comes first. So there is that. When a family member is on the phone with me, I am going to prioritize that phone call because you never know when it's going to be your last phone call with your family members or loved ones. So I do have all of the items that are on my face listed and linked down below, just in case you are curious. And I am using the Glam Light Trick or Treat lip kit, and I was gonna film a short on it today, but honestly the day just really escaped me. I ended up leaving, and by the time I got home I just really didn't have the time to, like, do all of that jazz. So let me just get this lip set back on my lips. And also, if you're wondering, I did film a video that should have already gone up. Like I said, I was talking to family again today before this live, actually. So I did not get the chance to review it to make sure it's actually good to go. But as soon as we're done with this live, since I don't have to work on the description box, I will go ahead and make that video live. I just need to watch it to make sure that everything's good to go. And then I also have already started to film the video for tomorrow, which I should be able to finalize that filming after this live as well. So I'm hoping to get kind of caught up, if not like a little bit ahead of schedule, because if I don't on my days off during my work week, during my work week, I just don't have the time. And we're gonna pop open a drink because it is after 5 o'clock. And let's see, what time is it? It's 5:06. I think I got on here a couple minutes late. So I'm gonna wait till like 5:10 and then we'll start talking about the new makeup releases. So let me get a sip and then we'll keep talking. Not terrible, not great. Anyways though, so usually at this point, while I'm waiting for people to come in and potentially like talk and chat and all that jazz, I talk about new makeup releases that I've picked up. And I've kind of hinted towards it in various videos since I began my declutters, and honestly in December as a whole, but I have not picked up any makeup. I actually did go to Sephora today and I had intentions of vlogging, but some days you're in the mood to vlog, some days you're not. And this was just not a day for me to vlog. I really wanted to get my stuff and come back. So I actually did go to Sephora today, but I got something for my nephew for a Christmas/birthday gift. So I didn't even get anything for me. I was going to swatch the Patrick Ta eyeshadow duos because I still did have one of the duos in my cart when they did the most recent 20% off for everybody. But I decided not to go ahead and pull the trigger for various reasons. And yeah, it's one of those things that I think everybody goes through. Changes, you morph and you adapt as your personal life changes, and my personal life has just changed. So the ability and the willingness to have the quantity of makeup that I do has changed. I also do want to just preface the rest of this live by saying I'm so sorry if you guys can hear my dishwasher. I started this thing at 4 o'clock. The fact that it's still running is mind boggling, but I guess I never actually paid attention to how long the dishwasher goes. So yeah, I apologize if you guys can hear that in the background. But how are you guys doing? How's your day? I know for some people it's like in the middle of the day, especially like if you live on the West Coast. But if you're on the East Coast, I hope you have finalized your day and you're heading home, or you're finally home, curled up, clean, and ready to go to bed and all that jazz. Maybe even getting some food, who knows? Definitely let me know down in the chat if you're willing to know how you're doing. I'm just going to make sure I have all of my stuff set because I am notorious for not having things set in the way that I want them before we start. But I think I do. I think I do. So we're just going to keep going. How's my makeup looking? I've had this on for... let's see, what time is it? It's 5, so probably somewhere around 5 hours. I definitely think that these lights are not doing this justice because I don't think that it's as oily in person, but we can fix that. We can fix that. For today, the product that I use for my powder is actually this Hourglass face palette that I reviewed for holiday. This is Holidays 2024 palette. And I'm just gonna powder right there and up here because for some reason I feel like this lighting is really making this look crazy. Oh, there it goes. There the card. Okay. I'll be back in just a second. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I think that looks a lot better on camera, even though I don't see a difference in person, in the sense that I don't think I'm that oily. But, you know, people always do say that the camera really pulls your oils and makes you look a little bit. All right, I think I'm going to hit my my chin and right above my lip really quickly. And then I think it's good enough to go ahead and start. Like I said, if you're interested in knowing anything that's on my face, just check out down below in the description box. I have it already listed and linked. I did good this week. So I'm just going to go ahead and minimize me, and we're going to go ahead and talk about the new makeup releases. Alrighty, and let me switch to that window. So, oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay. All right. So I can't do that. Well, just bear with me. I'm really trying to make this the most seamless version that I can when it comes to the new makeup releases. Okay. So on Trend Mood, we have now seen that Benefit has come out with a new product for brows. If you did not know, Benefit is one of those brands that like their ride or die is brows. And that was very beneficial for the brand in general because people are going to repurchase brow products. So a brand like, let me put this down. A brand like ABH, where their bread and butter was, you know, highlighters, or even Becca, right? Becca was really known for their highlighters. So they really had an issue with staying afloat, whereas I think Benefit will continue to stay afloat because their bread and butter are these brow products. So this is the Mighty Fine Brow Pen, and I cannot see this for the life of me. So we're gonna get this closer. These contacts are really doing great. Okay, so this is supposed to be a 0.1 millimeter ultra slim, super fine triple tip for delicate and natural eyebrow creation. So basically like a feather brow, which makes perfect sense. I definitely think that the feather brow trend has been very, very popular as of late. And so the concept of them actually creating a product makes absolute perfect sense to me. That said, I actually just recently decluttered my one brow pencil that I can actually use. Sorry, give me one second. I'm trying to get this on my phone. like I always do. But anyways, the one thing I would say is the similar product that I've had in my collection for years. I decided, oop, nope, I decided to go ahead and declutter. So I am just gonna go ahead and declutter this, or not declutter, multitasking. I'm usually pretty good at it. I'm just going to go ahead and not pick this up personally. I already know that this is not something that I would get use out of long term. And right now, my mentality is that if I don't see me being able to keep this long term, it's no reason for it to come into my collection. That said, I'm probably not going to be picking up a lot of makeup because I have a lot. I even found a whole drawer that had a whole bunch of mascaras and brow products that I did not know I had. So there's really not a genuine category in which don't have enough products. Like there's not one. So why am I picking up anymore? You know? Why? Especially when I can use new skills and learn new skills to use what I have, but in a unique way. Very similar to, this is a little bit off topic, but it's me. Very similar to how I used the Charlotte Tilbury holiday palette, where I actually took a spoolie, I dug it into the darkest brow or color, and I swiped it through my brows, and my brows were filled in. Now, did they look as pleasing as I'd want them to? No, they didn't. Not gonna lie. But I was able to use the products that I already had for an aspect that I'd never tried. Today, I used the Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette, and I used a shade that's darker than my skin tone as a bronzer, a cream bronzer. I think there's so much that I have, and I could use so much creativity and versatility in those products, and I kind of really want to explore that a little bit more in 2025. So, long rant aside, I will not be picking this up. Alrighty, keeping it going, Elf has come out with a cleanser, and this is like a solid cleanser. It makes absolute perfect sense. The only thing that I would caution you guys on is the fact that I feel like when Elf does come out with this type of stuff, it's not always the quantity of product that you would expect for the price. So do keep that in mind. I know a lot of people still buy the Beauty Blender sponge or the like solid brush cleanser. I just use normal soap, or let me back up. I will use a bar soap from, I think the brand is Bronner's. I will just use that for my sponge every time I clean my sponge before I apply my makeup, which I am 100% at this point a sponge girly when it comes to makeup application, specifically my base sponge. But any type of cleaning of a product, I will use that bar soap, which is so cheap. It's really, really cheap. Now, this is only $5, which I do think is really cool, but the key is how much product is in this for $5. And a lot of times these e.l.f. products really don't have a lot of product. And so I'm probably just going to stick with my Bronner's bar soap. I like it. I know it works. I can get the unscented kind, so I don't feel like it irritates my skin or anything like that. And like I said, it works. I believe that's the only thing in this post. Yeah, that's the only thing. So yeah, it's nice. I think if you're already at e.l.f. or you need to throw something in your cart at e.l.f., this could easily get you over the limit. It's $5 and it's something that you know you'll get use out of. I don't buy a lot from the actual e.l.f. website, and so for me to use this in that kind of capacity, I just don't see it. But I would love to see the practicality and like how much product is in there, and then subsequently from that, how much usage can you get from said product. A new product coming out, or a new collection, if you will, coming out from Tom Ford. And this collection is, I considered it the Rose. Oh, it's the Rose Exposed collection. So this is coming out for spring 2025, which makes sense. Of course, as you guys know, designers always showcase their collection for the next season during the season prior. So it makes complete sense. This, you're getting a new fragrance, an eyeshadow quad, 2 lip colors, and a lip oil. I would love to know more about that perfume. Not gonna lie, I do have quite a bit of Tom Ford perfumes. I even have, one of their quads, which, not gonna lie, I absolutely adore. It's the Forbidden Pink quad, and it has really unique textures here, and I can create beautiful looks with it. So I'm not mad that I have that, but that has clear mattes. This palette does not seem to have clear and vivid mattes, and I also did not pay that full price by any means. I went to the CCO in Maryland the one time and I absolutely loved it. I had so much fun getting so many things discounted and all that jazz. So anyways, let's see if they get any more information. So we see a better viewpoint here, and what I will say with this viewpoint is you can actually see that you could potentially get some depth. I think all of these shades are more on that satin range, which isn't a bad thing. I'm just not a huge fan of satins. I would prefer just give me a matte or a shimmer or a glitter, stuff like that, but no satins. The Rose Exposed, we don't have any scent notes, but I'm pretty sure I've seen a thumbnail that the perfume guy has already talked about this scent coming out. So if you're somebody who's really into perfumes, looking into getting a new one, I would definitely say check him out. He's a really fantastic reviewer. I really enjoyed him when I was truly getting into perfumes and building my collection. As of right now, as with everything in beauty related, I am trying to downsize, but I'm sure once I really get back into the thick of things when it comes to picking up perfumes, I will start to actually watch his channel a little bit more. The lip oil, I'm sure is great, but I'm sure it's overly priced for a lip oil. And then the two lipsticks, for me, these are not shades that I'll get any use out of. You guys just saw my declutter, or if you didn't, I just uploaded my lip product declutter, and pretty much if it was not a brown or some variant of a brown that I know I would get use out of, which I can actually get use out of quite light browns and medium tone browns, but once they get significantly darker than my skin tone, similar to like the shade of my bronzers, I just don't get any use out of them. I know I don't. So I decided to go ahead and declutter pretty much all of those. And yeah, that's pretty much the long and the short of that. I probably won't be picking any of these up. Also, these now look like reds. I don't know what's going on, but either way, it's just not for me, and that's okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. Even honestly, if it was for me, I would have probably waited till it went on sale. Hi, Just Sophie. Hi, I hope you guys you're enjoying. And I hope you're having a good day, because if nothing, we all need to have a good day, at least a good night, like getting into the evening, afternoon, something like that. NYX is coming out with two new products. So first, they're coming out with a Buttermilk Glaze Soft Glow Skin Tint. This is supposed to have SPF 30, $16, and this is supposed to be a skin tint formula that melts that melts right in for butter glazed skin. Ew, that's cringy. Oh goodness. Okay, anyways, so you're supposed to get a glazed donut skin effect, which I do think has been like a trend. It's very much on the trend where people think that, well, it's on the trend where a lot of people do not wear a lot of makeup. Very much Kaylee Bieber and all of that aesthetics and vibes, where they put very minimal makeup, but they put a color on their lips, maybe a splash of a color on their eyes and their cheeks, call it a day. That's not for me. Your girl loves to be impactful. Yes, I don't do as much on my eyes anymore, but you don't see some bronzer, blush, minimum. And I also like more coverage. I'm assuming this is not going to give a lot of coverage based on the fact that it is a glazed donut skin effect. I really don't know, but I am not in the market for foundations. You guys just saw my foundation declutter. Once again, if you didn't, check it out. I've done almost my whole collection on the declutter series thus far. Next week, I believe, is going to be my last declutter. We'll see. But yeah, I'm not in the market for foundations at all. I really want to work on using foundations that I have, because I have such great products now, and I don't want them to expire. Like, I just let so many foundations expire. So definitely really excited about what I have. And I also don't think the vibes of this foundation or that skin tint is for me. It also looks like the NYX Duck Lip range really did well. And so now they've come out with a plumping version. I don't really like plumping versions of lip products. I don't use plumping products, period. I'm good. So I do believe one, if not both of these products are actually currently available. But as I've said time and time again, if it's available, it is linked down below. I did make sure to link everything before I got on here and started talking to my family member. So yeah, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything really to write home about. I will say this light shade really doesn't look all that light, and the dark shade doesn't look all that dark. That said, it is a skin tint, and it's supposed to only have 10 shades, so you know it's supposed to really stretch. It all depends on how much coverage. It really doesn't say the coverage level. I'm just assuming it's like coverage based on the description. Um, but yeah, I definitely think they could have expanded because, like I said, that one shade doesn't look like so. For example, um, I don't even know if she still does YouTube anymore, but one of the lightest people I've seen on YouTube, her name was Porcelain Skin, Porcelain Doll, something to that effect. I don't think it would work on her. Somebody else that I think that shade particularly wouldn't work on, just based on seeing them via YouTube. I've never met these people in my life. Is Lauren May Beauty or even Khaki. I don't think that this shade would work on any of them. From what they all describe, they are very fair, and so I think that that one shade might work for like Angelica Niquis, in my opinion. I'm not an expert by any means, but I would say like she would probably be like one or two in that range, which doesn't really say a lot because she considers herself a medium, a light medium. So yeah, take that as you will. If you are of a lighter skin tone, I definitely would love to hear your opinions down below, as well as if you are of a darker skin tone, I would love to hear your opinions on whether you actually think that that range is deep or not. I did not link this because when I Googled it, I was honestly expecting to see a shade range, but that might have been my bad. This product actually might be available. So this is the ColourPop Soul Liquid Sun Glow Drops. And like I said, when I Googled it, it did not seem that it was available. But now that I'm looking at this description, it says that it's available starting December 12th. So it's probably the item that came up, and I was just expecting for there to be multiple shades, and they just didn't come out with them. Because it looks like there's only one shade, which if that's the fact, I'm truly disappointed in ColourPop. Out of any brand that can justify and kind of reason why they don't have a wide shade range, ColourPop is not one of them. They literally have their manufacturer in the same facility, and we've seen time and time again how they can flip products back to back to back because they are their own manufacturer. So the concept that they could not have a wider range in this, it's not it. It's not it at all. Honestly, like I said 10 times over at this point, I really don't use ColourPop. I really don't purchase from them very often. There's still a smattering of items in my collection that are actually from the brand, but overall, to me, if you really want drugstore, I would just recommend going into the physical drugstore now. At the time when ColourPop started, I definitely think that they were fulfilling a niche, right? A lot of people really could not trust actual drugstore makeup because it really was not good. It wasn't. But drugstore has really come a long, long way. I mean, there's some products that as I continue to think about what I would do for a full face of favorites in 2024, there are some things that I think actually might make it, and they are drugstore. So that really tells me that the drugstore, and these are things that I picked up literally at like an Ulta, a Sephora, a Target, an Ulta, a Target, stuff like that. So for me, saying that I have to buy my drugstore online and, you know, a lot of ColourPop stuff expires within a very short amount of time, to me, it just doesn't seem all that worth it. But I would love to hear once again your opinions. I know some people are really diehard ColourPop fans. They had their moment for me in the beginning of my shopping when it comes to makeup, but since I've really gotten into makeup, I found that as much as I detest the price ranges, I do tend to reach for more high-end, luxury and indie brands. Like I really, as much as I think I'm gonna like finally get into drugstore is just not it for me. Now there are a handful of items that once I see they're raved about, oh yeah, I'll go ahead and pick them up. But as far as like enjoying to actually review, I don't really enjoy reviewing drugstore. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. So it looks like Dior is coming out with an extended shade range for their glow lip shades. So this is basically their balms. I have one of these, which I think I just recently talked about. I think, or I plan to. I don't remember. Oh yeah, it was in the declutter video. That's why I remember it. So definitely a product that I would recommend. I enjoy a lot of honestly luxury brand lip products. It's honestly annoying that I enjoy them, but they're really, really good, especially the glossy lips. I have one from them, and then I have a YSL lip gloss, like bullet lipstick. Absolutely love it. I hate that I love it, but I do. There's truly something about these high-end luxury like designer brands that certain products you can really know are dependable and are going to pretty much work, and other products, you know, are iffy. But yeah, absolutely love this range. I don't have anything from the shades, like none of these, and I don't plan to. I like my browns and that's it. This is not brown, but I think that I would recommend this collection overall in case it is something that you are interested in. It looks like L'Oreal is coming out with yet another skin tint. I'm honestly surprised that so many skin tints are coming out right now, but maybe they're doing it because they think people are looking for a skin tint for the spring and summer. I don't really know. But regardless, L'Oreal is coming out with a new skin tint, and this is the Le Glow Skin Tint. This is supposed to be a healthy glow that meets... excuse me. Oh, well, there's that. So this is supposed to be a healthy glow that meets breathable coverage and lightweight water-based tint. Maybe this is on a similar tip to the NYX that I was just talking about, how a lot of people are really doing very minimal makeup. And so this sounds, once again, very minimal. And because it's water-based, I'm sure it will literally kind of melt into your skin. And so it'll look like you're not wearing anything. So maybe that's why we're getting this type of foundation. I couldn't distinctly tell you, like off the top of my nose, a L'Oreal foundation that is very equivalent to this. I feel like a lot of the L'Oreal foundations that were super popular had higher coverage. So this is probably really filling in a niche in their range that they needed to fill in. It's only $16.99. There are 16 shades. Let's see what this shade range is about. The shade range looks okay. I definitely think, as per usual, there's a lot more shades in the middle of the range than on the outside of the range. The jump between 420 to 430 is ridiculous. And yeah, I think even the shade, once again, 100 is quite dark to be their lightest shade. But that said, I mean, who am I? Who am I? I've already told you guys, and I'm going to stand... Oops, I'm so sorry. I'm going to stand true to not picking up any foundations. I just don't need to. I really want to narrow down my foundation collection. I think I ended the year or the declutter with maybe 10, which is a lot. It's a lot of foundations. Even at the height of me like really being able to get through foundations, I believe I only got through like 3 that year because I got through one every 3 months or so, because that doesn't make sense. I should have gone through 4 because there's 12 months. I don't remember. It's been some years. But long story short, I really want to narrow down that collection, really get my use out of it. And right now I've been really sticking with an easy one because it's literally right in this little basket. Okay, let's not run away. This is the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. I've been really wearing this time and time again. This has pretty much been what you guys have seen in my description box. And it's really because it's easy, it's accessible, and it's right here on my desk, or I've kept it kind of close by. All of my other foundations are kind of in a basket of things that I'm keeping, and I have not really dispersed them back into my collection. I've intended to do a video showcasing you guys how I'm going to be organizing my makeup, and so I think that's the general like hold up. I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. Maybe I'll do that vlog next week. I don't really know. But anyways, this is not for me. I would love to know if it's for you. And if you think this is for you, why is that one for you and not the next one? I'd be interested. So far, one of the things that has really tried to cripple me and make me want to pick it up is this baby. This is the Glaminatrix Blush Duos. It looks like they only have 3 different shades available, but nonetheless, these look beautiful. They look so, so pretty. So they have a nice deep maroon one. They have a bright pinky one, and then like a more neutral toned one. I think this looks really, really pretty. Of course, they come with a powder blush and a cream blush. I like that the cream is darker than the powder. That really helps you to get a nice base, or if you want to do the Pâte Tâche method to really have it blend in. Either way, I really like it. It's a simple packaging. You get to see all of the products. I'm sure they're not overly expensive. We don't see a price as of yet, but these are going to be available on Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas, which is also another day. It's a day that I'm going to be focusing on in my video that'll be coming up right after we're done with this live. So stay tuned for that video. Yeah, I think this is absolutely stunning. I'd want to try these so much. Glaminatrix has been a brand that I have seen go from just singles on Etsy to now having their own website, to palettes, having affiliate codes, like everything. And I've enjoyed the process from the beginning to the end, absolutely. And I mean, although I haven't showcased a lot of their products on my channel as of late, mainly because I've just not been interested enough to pick them up, this is something that I'm so interested in picking up. Now, am I able to necessarily justify it to myself? No. If you saw my cheek collection in Declutter, I have so many blushes. It is crazy. But absolutely, I think that this would be a beautiful, beautiful collection to get my grubby hands on. I won't be able to. Or maybe I'll leave myself and allow myself to. Who knows? I haven't really set a particular standardize on like what I can and what I can't pick up. I just know that as of right now, I'm not really picking up a lot. Hey Lock Maiden, I see you commented. What? It does very much look like a kind of dupe of the Pâte Tâche. Like, no way to really get around that. And I mean, I guess to their benefit, right? They didn't use the exact same compacts, which understandably, those compacts would not really work in their like aesthetic and in their vibe. I would say if they did anything, let me see. Hold on. No, so the brand is Glaminatrix, but they've started to do packaging similar to Adept to some extent. I don't think I have any of their products nearby. I think that a packaging like this would be better. I do agree with you, Lock Maiden. In the grand scheme of things, I will reach for a product more often if it's the singular product, right? So like I said, you guys have been seeing pretty much the exact same products in my description box time and time again. Why? Because it's easy when I'm in a declutter mode, but I've been reaching for these products because they're single compacts, so I can get the exact product that I want on my face, and then I can close it and go to the next compact. Plus, I have really learned not to undervalue the compact mirror. My mirror is so dirty, like my handheld mirror. This mirror is absolutely grotesque, and so with the use of using these single compacts, I've been able to use those mirrors and they look so much clearer, which is not always the best because then I can see everything that's going on. I need like a facial or something. I really do. But that's beside the point. Actually being able to use the product singularly for what I want is super helpful and it just makes life easier. So I definitely understand what you mean, Lock Maiden. 110%. Wrong thing. Let me click over. Okay. But I do still think they're pretty. I do. But they are very much shades that I do have in the Patrick Tall range. So you know what, Lock Maiden? You just helped me. I'm going to chalk myself up to not picking them up. I'm sure there's going to be so many people who do comparison videos between the two, showcasing like the dupe version of Patrick Tall's stuff, especially because honestly, he's been expanding, like not expanding, but he's been upping his pricing on everything lately. I'm just going to move me. There we go. So he's been upping his prices on everything lately. And so I can only imagine what his pricing of his blush duos are now. It's probably really expensive because I want to say they started off at like $24, $25. I'm sure they're somewhere higher in the 20s now. Some more cream products are coming from Maybelline. Now, these are not the lip glosses that I absolutely adore. These are actually the highlighters. So they have bigger components of like the lip gloss packaging. And they had, I believe, blushes in them already. And I want to say vaguely, I remember seeing bronzers as well. I know I never paid attention to the bronzers. I vaguely paid attention to the cream blushes. But these are now the cream highlighters, or liquid highlighters, if you will. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I am not going to do it. Why? Because in my declutter, I said one thing I'm not allowed to buy is liquid highlighters. Why? Because I never liked them. I never liked them. And I'm sick of buying things that I don't enjoy and then like I'm so over it. I really want to just use what I have and keep what I have. And of course, if it gets old, then okay, it needs to go goodbye. But I hate buying it and in the same year decluttering it because it was not what I expected. So this is definitely going to not be something that I even give any attention to personally. We don't know a price yet, and they are not available as of yet, at least not of this posting. But this is supposed to give you like an illuminated look to the skin, and it's supposed to be an easy highlighter that builds. I just don't find that they're ever good, so I'm gonna skip personally. I think the shade range is decent. You have like a rose gold, a gold, and like a white yellowish gold. It's nice. Not for me though. Something that is actually currently available app only though is the NARS lip oils. So it's really crazy how NARS is just now getting on this trend. I feel like this lip gloss packaging was like the forefront of when the lip gloss craze occurred. And so the fact that they're just now getting onto the lip oil trend is absolutely crazy, but maybe it took them a while because their formula is just so superior. Either way, they're $28. You get, of course, 4 different shades. Of course, they have Orgasm here. You have Wondrous, Far Away, and Twirl. None of those shades are really anything that I would say personally is something for me to write home about. I also have a lot of lip oils. I have a lot of lip products in general. Don't get me wrong, between the categories of like finishing things naturally, I definitely would say lip products is a category I finish naturally. I do tend to forget to actually save the product so I can show you guys in my empties, which there should be at least 1 empties coming before the end of this year. Not one, there's only going to be one. Don't ask me. So yeah, either way, I think that these look cute. They're nice, but I have a lot. I have a lot of lip oils. I just don't need any others. And that's not the cheapest lip oil formula. So e.l.f. is coming out with some more products. Not only what did I talk about before? Oh, the brush cleanser. Now they're coming out with a glow powder filter product. So this is a pressed powder that's supposed to give you like a glow radiant finish. I want to say that e.l.f. had the last glowy powder that I picked up and I did not like it. I felt like it was too much. It was just over the top on my skin. Now, granted, I guess it depends on how you're supposed to use this, right? So let me read the instructions or the description. You're supposed to create a soft focus finish. It's an ultra fine formulation that helps to blur the appearance of the pores, fine lines, and excess shine for the naturally airbrushed vibe. This light as air pressed powder delivers light buildable coverage, crease resistant, and it gives you a velour puff, a mirror, etc. So they don't actually say that this is only like a finishing powder. Whatever the product is that I'm remembering, it was distinctly a finishing powder that I tried to set my face with. No. But I would be intrigued to see how this wears, especially on somebody of my skin type, because I do know there are quite a few people like me who have combination oily skin but like to have a bit of a sheen to the skin. All of the powders that I have currently, which I think is a whopping maybe 5, are all like matte powders. So it would be good to bring in a glower powder, but I want to make sure it's the right powder for me. And I want to make sure that if I do bring it in, it is one that I can actually set my whole face with and get a nice sheen to the skin and not a like glittery effect or anything weird like that, because I distinctly remember getting that type of weird finish at the end of me putting it all over my face. I could dust it on top after my face was set, but for me that was just too much work to do all of that. I can't distinctly remember the powder, but it's the powder that what is she? Batty Bean now? I think that's her YouTube name. Batty Bean loves. She absolutely loves that powder. It's one of those like staple products that she always uses, just like her Milk eyeshadow primer. It's one of those. So yeah, good things there. I would be interesting to like keep an eye out. It currently, like I said, is not available, so we don't know the price, but I'm betting it's nowhere near like $10. Yep, see, look, Batty Bean, she's right there because this is a type of product that she would actually get a lot of use out of, and she has gotten a lot of use out of whatever the specific item that I'm referring to, because I've seen her repurchase it multiple times. Prada is coming out with a new perfume. It is already available and at Sephora. I don't know if it's at Sephora stores, but it is online. And this is supposed to be a yummy fruity floral perfume that's supposed to be playful personality of rhubarb. So rhubarb to me, I find has that sweetness, but once it sits on the skin, at least my skin, it really gives some depth that it really plays well with like sandalwood, because sandalwood is like a creamier wood, so it's not too harsh in connection with rhubarb. So yeah, anyways, I don't really know any of the other notes. I'll scroll down in a second, but yeah. And yeah, this has a signature musk. Musk also plays really well with rhubarb, in my opinion, from the scents that I have collected throughout the years and used throughout the years. It does look like this is going to be available in 2 different sizes, 3.4 ounce, which is $180, and the 0.34 ounce, which is the travel size, which is $35. So apparently the key notes here are a super essence of green mandarin, rhubarb accord, and white musk accord. I'm sure there is some form of other like grounding note that I love to always call them. So there's probably some form of woodsiness in here. I think woods would play really well with this just based on the notes. But maybe that green mandarin also has some like centering in it as well. This is apparently supposed to only be available January 7th, but I'm pretty sure I found this on the Sephora website because that's what I linked down below. I might have been wrong. Maybe Prada has changed their bottles and I didn't realize, and so I linked the wrong one. I apologize if I did. But long story short, this sounds like it would smell great. I just am not going to be picking up any perfumes. I did just recently pick up, what did I pick up recently? Oh, the Kayali wedding scent. And so that was my perfume pretty much of the year. I don't think I picked up any other perfumes this year. And I was able to finish up, 3 or 4 full-size bottles this year. So I'm very, very happy with that. I think that that's a great in and out kind of rotation. And I want to kind of continue that tradition along. Although I love my perfumes, there are definitely perfumes that I feel yay or nay about that I can kind of start to really target to get my money's worth, and then honestly to find more room. So if you know what the Calyx drawers are, I have a drawer system in one cube where I have two different drawers, and then I have even more perfumes in another cube next to it because that's how many perfumes I have. And all of my perfumes aren't even there. I do have like a smattering of some in various other places. So that just tells you I have a lot. I really do. I enjoy my perfumes, don't get me wrong, but I would love to get to the point where they're all kind of housed in those drawers and it's just a little bit more of a reasonable quantity. So, anyways, I rambled per usual. This Prada one looks really, really cute, but I won't be picking it up. Now, will I smell it when I'm actually finally in a Sephora store, like a full Sephora? Because I went to like a Kohl's at Sephora situation. Yes, yes, I will. But I will not be picking it up. The last thing that I have pinned, so if you know of anything else that you want to discuss, go ahead and put that down in the chat because this is all I got, which is another reason why I didn't do my video last week because I just didn't see anything worth talking about. But anyways, Tropicals is doing, or Topicals, I apologize, is doing a lip balm. And this is in Acai. I don't know if they've done lip balms in the past. If they have, it was never on my radar to pick them up. But this is supposed to be a vegan barrier building balm that's supposed to hydrate and smooth. It's also supposed to protect dry lips. $16. I do believe Topicals is available at Sephora, if memory serves me correctly. I think this is fine. You know, I think at this point I found, you know, 2 or 3 really great lip balm formulas, and I just don't feel the need to really try the rest of them, if that makes sense. Like, I've enjoyed them, don't get me wrong, but you know, do I need to try every last lip balm formula? I think not. I really don't think that I do. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. It was a quick little video. And like I said, if you guys don't have anything else, I won't hold you guys to staying long term. I know sometimes I got you guys here for like 2-3 hours and we're just talking nonstop. Let me just reset my camera. So we're talking nonstop, but I think, like I thought, this was just going to be a very quick video because not a lot comes out towards the end of the year. Really, right now, it's all about the sales, people wanting to get products that they were interested in throughout the year or otherwise for a better deal, which I completely understand. Of course, we're going to be having a lot of sales, not only continuing up to Christmas, but also right after Christmas. You're going to get those New Year's sales, and then you're going to get those Valentine's Day sales. So garner yourselves accordingly. If there's any particular video that you want to see from me, please do comment it. I know my comment communication has not been the best as of late, but I have been truly busy, and so I do apologize. But if you put a comment, I do try to prioritize those. As of right now, some of the videos that I'm trying to get up during the rest of Swagmas is, like I said, that one empties video. I know quite a few people were really interested in seeing a neutral blush for brown girl, so I'm trying to get that up. I just need to sit down and group the blushes, and then I can do that. I can do the swatches, all of that jazz. So I'm gonna try to get that up soon. Also, I know some people were also asking about what to buy at like Yes Style, so I do have, of course, a decent knowledge bank on that, so I will go ahead and give you guys that. Thoughts on the 3 new Refer brushes. And then Chanel Spring Collection. Okay. Lock Maiden, I have no idea. So I did get the emails for Refer. I'm not going to lie on that. But if we're being honest, when it comes to Refer, and let me back up. When it comes to brushes in general, I find that I have too many. And I have a lot that were expensive and handcrafted. I have quite the collection from Refer. And I have quite the collection from Sonia G. I have quite the collection from BK, right? And those are all solid formulations, solid brushes that are like built. All of them are really great. And I have, okay, so if you know what is this drawer system? I don't know what the drawer system is. If you follow my vlogs, right? I have a whole top drawer full of brushes. And then I have a gallon size bag full of brushes that I don't even use. That tells you how many brushes I have. And that is actually a collection that I really do want to downsize, because I'm sure friends would love brushes. That is a category or a collection I feel like a lot of people don't realize. The better your brushes, the better your application. That said, you did not ask about any of this. So let me see if I can find the Chanel Spring. Do we have like Trend Mood or anybody? I don't see any. Lock Maiden, tell me where you found it. Yes, I bought a lot of, I don't want to say I bought a lot of collections, but I bought a lot of brushes in groups, and it built up. It built up. And so for me, that was why I really don't pay attention to the brush releases as much anymore. And then also, to be fair, I have a lot of duplicates. So for example, you guys know there's some brushes that are just like holy grails. Angie Hot and Flashy, I think I have 3 of these brushes. 3. Why? Because I hate washing my brushes, and this is a brush that I do not want to apply my blush without. Cream or powder. I love this brush for both of them. There, you know, a handful of other brushes that throughout the years they were favorites, and so I constantly just would repurchase. I have a lot of Sigma brushes too, so yeah. Anyways, let me see if I can find this spring collection. But before that, I do have, let me see, because I was a doofus, and I deleted my window in my settings and all of that. So give me 1 second. Let me change my settings so that it jumps to the right thing. All right. I'm pretty sure this is what you were talking about, Lock Maiden. Please let me know if I am incorrect. But honestly, like I said, I kind of just immediately deleted these brushes, or the emails. So these are 3 synthetic brushes designed for liquid/cream formulations. And oh, so they probably were in the concept store. I used to get a lot of my brushes from Refer, from the concept store. I will say that it's a really ingenious plan of them. And I believe when I was buying them, you didn't have to pay for the actual brushes. You just paid for the shipping, I want to say. But anyways, so I love that they do comparisons. I wish I could make this bigger so I can actually see. I think that the shapes look really, really nice. I love that they're black, so that when you do get that liquid and that cream in the bristles, it doesn't look as disgusting as the powder brushes do, or the white bristles do. I have a Refer right here. This is the 5. I want to say this was bought from their concept store. I haven't bought from Refer in years, so I can't really distinctly remember. But I will say their brushes are actually quite good. I've not obviously tried this range or anything to that effect. I think they're great. I think the shapes look good for what, like, if I was looking into buying this for me, I think those shapes look really, really nice. The shapes remind me of some shape brushes that I just used today. Let me see if I can pick them up really quickly. So today I used, I think, all 3 of these brushes. And so the shapes that I see on those look very similar. So this is the Angie Hot and Flashy A506. It's a very similar kind of drastic incline on the very small brush. And so I would assume that's how people were using them. I use this brush to, if I'm, back up, I'm sorry, I'm like trying to answer 10,000 things and talking about 10,000 things at once. If I try to use like a cream, what just happened? Anyways, if I try to use like a cream pigment, or even like my Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette, I'll pick up the product, the cream, with this, and I'll blend it all over my eye. I think that this brush is fantastic for that. I do know other people that actually use this for concealer. I just do not like to use brushes for my base. I am strictly a sponge girl when it comes to that. The next one, I would say this reminds me of that middle brush, and this is the Sonia G Jumbo Base. So it's not as big as I was honestly expecting, but depending on who you talk to, especially a lot of makeup artists, I find that they actually use quite small brushes and even fluffy brushes to apply their foundation because they feel it really gets into the nooks and crannies. Anyways, though, I use this today actually for cream bronzer. This is one of my favorite cream bronzer brushes because it's quite thick and it can really push the product around and also blend it into the skin. That said, because I do use a sponge, I will go over the edges with the sponge, which is exactly what I did today. But I think that this brush looks very, very similar. Now, this is not as similar, but I think this is the same type of concept as that biggest brush, and it's this one right here. And this is my Angie Hot and Flashy A507. Now, I want to say their brush looks a little bit more compact. It looks to be more on the compactness of the Sonia G, but the width of the BK Beauty. But they have this as a collection. They have it as a full set. And as I just said, I don't need any full sets. I think that it looks really, really nice. Do not get me wrong. But I don't think I would need this. If I had to pick up or wanted to pick up any out of the three, it would probably be the biggest one. It really would. Because that would, I think, be the most unique to my collection. But I can always wait. Like I said, I have so many brushes. I just really don't need any more. You're interested in the face palette from Chanel. You like pretty things. We all like pretty things. Sophie's Beauty has an IG reel on the channel and YouTube video. Sophia C. Okay, hold on. Oops. I'm going to do this on the page that you guys can see. Here, let me, so that you guys don't see all of the errors and everything. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find this. Sophie's, how'd she spell it? Sophia C's. Goodness. Sophia C's. Oh, C's Beauty. She has a channel. You said there's a short. Oh, no. I'm trying to see how I can find it because I don't want to like rip off anything from her. So I'm trying to see how I can potentially find it. I do know that one creator that it's in like Europe or somewhere, and she does do a lot of like sneak peeks, but I cannot remember her name for the life of me right now. Let me see if I can find it. Chanel Spring 2020. Maybe not in say makeup. Maybe I should say collection. Okay, let me see if I can find it on images. Oh, no. This is giving me their fashion collection. Oh, that's 2023. That's a YouTuber's thumbnail. I don't really want to pull from that. Okay, I think I might have found it. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I think I found a video of somebody unboxing it. Let me see if it'll show. And I'll also try to make this bigger. Okay, that really helped. Okay, let me see if I can get this to show. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Lock Maiden, please let me know if this is the collection you're talking about. It says spring 2025 in the corner. It's available in the US. Why was I not able to find it? We're going to go to the Chanel website in just a second. Don't you worry. Oh, goodness. No. What is that? Is that the lipstick? Okay. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Chanel. We're just going to go to the Chanel website. I don't know why I didn't just do this in the first place. And we're just going to go to makeup. We're going to do new arrivals. Makeup. Okay, that's a set. That's a powder. That's an eyeshadow. Is this one of those things where you have to have a person for them to send it to you? Okay. Oops. I will just say this. Okay, I didn't want to do too much on other people's stuff because I don't want to kind of rip off of them or anything like that. But what I will say is that that highlighter or kind of face palette does look quite pretty. I would love to know if that is powder or cream. I know you guys have seen me showcase the cream at least once. Oh, excuse me. I know you guys have, oh my goodness. I know you guys have seen me showcase the cream at least once, and the cream is actually quite nice. I have one and I really like it for the compact. Yeah, I don't know how it's not available on Google. It's probably the person that I found just now on Instagram, which I will go back and find her and I will link her down below so that she gets credit. I don't want to, take any of her credit. I will link it down below in case you want to find that short on her Instagram. I'm sure she has like a, what's it called? Like an inside person. You know, when you have like a particular seller that you text back and forth, I'm sure she has that. And I don't. I literally have bought a handful of Chanel things. I will say that those products look really, really pretty. I am just not convinced, at least from that short video, that they'll work on my skin type. That's the one concern. I think that the highlighters would, but those blushes leave a little bit to be desired, which is why I went for the darker shade blush that I did. And let me reach and get it in case you guys are interested. Yeah. So it's right here. And hopefully, if all goes well, I can review a lot of this makeup that I've been sitting on, and this included. So this is the Chanel Cream Blush in Grenat Profonde. Did you like that? Was that French just rolling off my tongue? It's actually really nice. There is a scent. I didn't notice that until just now. There is a scent. It's not overpowering, but I did just smell it because it's so close to my nose. And it applied beautifully. It's a really pretty shade. It is a darker shade, so I kind of knew it would work. It does not have that white base, which I absolutely detest in some cream blushes. It just has the pigment. It just has the pigment. I feel like you can definitely blend it up or build it up. I did not the day that I filmed with this, but I have in like every going or in just my comings and goings of just using the product. So yeah, I don't really know Lock Maiden. I don't know. I'm going to say that I'm not going to pick it up because like I said, I'm really just trying my darndest not to pick things up. I even went on the Enchanted Rain website and I almost bought that palette, that eyeshadow palette that I want, the like beautiful like 20 some odd pan. Oh, it's all neutrals, splash of greens, splash of purples, then browns. I almost went and picked it up, but I did not. And so I'm just kind of trying to talk myself out of not picking these things up and being good. If we're being honest, I'm just trying to be good. But Yeah, I think that's it for today. I feel like this has been a really good day talking to you guys, just chatting, hanging out. Lockmaiden, thank you so much for commenting. Thank you so much, Sophie, if you're still here, for commenting and trying to be interactive. I always appreciate you guys when you're interactive in this live overall or just for a small portion of it. Yeah, we can only try, right? I think I'm gonna get back to what me and Dion were doing at the beginning of this year. And if I allow myself to buy anything, which I'm leaning towards not, it's going to be on a limited budget. Yes, you got to save the coins. You know, we all want to do something else with our lives other than just buy makeup, right? So you got to save for it, plan for it. But I think that's it for today. I think I'm going to wrap her up right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want another live with me, whether it's around the Christmas holiday and or New Year's holiday, please just go ahead and let me know. As of right now, this is the last live, but I can always plan another one on a day that I have off because I actually work both holidays. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are having a restful evening and getting down to drinking your beverages of choice and eating some food if you only eat a couple of days, a couple of times throughout the day. I've rambled on. I'm going to say good night. Bye, guys.